It is 2025, and after watching the Minecraft movie premiere, I have decided to go down the Minecraft community's memory lane. One I found on the internet was a rather well-known map named SkyGrid. Originating from May 2012, it is a Minecraft map in the style of Skyblock. It is over 10 years ago, and since then there has been plenty of new features added to Minecraft. So there exists many other SkyGrid maps with those features that adapt to the version of Minecraft it was released in. But for this video, I'll play the original SkyGrid from 2012, but in the version 1.21.5. Let's see what kind of obstacles and what advantages I get by playing such an old map in a new game. In this video, I will aim for 100 in-game days, the classic duration of the Let's Play repertoire in modern Minecraft. That is about 33 hours 20 minutes in real life. Let's get to this. Okay, there's a lot of so it began. The blocks started loading in, which took nearly a minute and was rather trippy. So in order to reduce lag, I went to turn render distance down to the lowest. It was time to get plenty of blocks. I went for the blocks such as logs, which could be crafted into more planks and result in more blocks. While gathering blocks, I found that there were also random chests around the area, with some items that came in handy. One of those chests had cobblestone, and for that reason that means I did not need to craft a wooden pickaxe to start with, which was my initial plan as I did not know that cobblestone existed in those chests. Upon acquiring that stone pickaxe, I also tried to find a flowing water and lava and improvise a cobblestone generator. These ones were close to each other, so I could kind of do it. After getting a fairly enough amount of cobblestone, I went back to the top. I chose the top to build myself a permanent platform to work with, since there was plenty of empty space as high as 319 blocks to work with. Upon arriving, it was getting dark with the likelihood of spawning monsters, so I went around to get wool to craft a bed. And that about concludes day 1. Day 2 until about day 8 was about gathering more items. After getting a furnace and a stone axe, I specifically started to collect iron for a bucket to collect water and lava. In this version, mining iron ore gives raw iron, as opposed to the previous version's iron ore itself. Along the way, I also came across some chests as well, in which contained an iron pickaxe. This other one contained a diamond sword. Now that I have collected water and lava and a whole bunch of other stuff, I returned and placed a double chest and then made a cobblestone generator on the platform. With that sorted, I then took a break from collecting blocks, and instead got myself a whole lot of cobblestone. With those cobblestone, I got myself a whole lot of cobblestone slabs for building, and went down there to search for some food and rather specific items that I had in mind. Seeing that I easily found lots of bookshelves and diamonds among the blocks, I decided to get myself items for enchanting. Oh, it's a skeleton spawner, okay. Along the way, I discovered a few spawners as well. Here I came across another chest. This time, inside had a diamond pickaxe. This saved me 3 diamonds on a diamond pickaxe.
Probably enough for that.
After collecting about 27 books, I returned back to the top and expanded my island.
Yep, enchanting table now.
I built an area to plant a sapling and another area to plant melons. In this version, you are unable to obtain pumpkin seeds since every pumpkin on this map is a carved pumpkin from a long time ago. And the only way to get pumpkin seeds are from pumpkins that are not carved, which were introduced in 2018.
Start cutting that as well.
Well, the sapling grew when I was building the area. After I collected the logs, I decided to check out the enchanting table's enchantments, which I was not satisfied with.
Make a better.
I was also not satisfied with the cobblestone generator.
Cobblestone generator, because all this, when I mine here, some of it goes to the lava. I'll make it something better.
So after I went to plant the saplings again and get an infinite water source, I got out there to collect redstone for improvements on the cobblestone generator. With that done, I returned and started to rebuild the cobblestone generator, and realized I did not have enough cobblestone to begin with, so I did this for a little while.
Okay.
Anyways, with that done, I would say that this one I'm building is more like a stone generator, since it produces stone instead of cobblestone. But I still don't have silk touch at the moment, so I guess it's a cobblestone generator for now. However, I chose stone over cobblestone because stone takes a shorter time to mine compared to cobblestone. Piston at the back pushes the stone out for me to mine. All that stone that gets mined falls into the water that flows towards me. So I went AFK there for a little while with a weight on my mouse and farmed a little bit. By the time I finished that AFK session along with the farming, it was day 8. With all that newly acquired cobblestone, I thought it'd be a good time to build a mob grinder. The spawners that I witnessed not long ago during my resource collecting session, especially the skeleton spawner I saw, was perfect. I could get bows, arrows, bone meal, and experience points. Unlike a typical mob grinder that spawns mobs from thin air on a ground, this spawner can spawn skeletons in mid-air. All the skeletons that spawn in the mid-air, it's all about letting them fall into water at the bottom that flushes them into a 21 block tall falling pit, where fall damage reduces them to half or 1 heart of health. The player at the bottom can just smack all of them with a sword. Since they are killed by a player, this gives experience points. With the grinder nearly completed, I went to get a little bit more food from the farm.
This tree has made this into puzzle.
And went back to build it up, to seal the spawner of illumination. After I completed it, this immediately happened.
Okay, that works. Okay, that is...
Apparently, that spider was the first hostile mob I ever killed on this map since day 1. Anyways, apart from that, it also meant that such a situation where random spiders fall from above is somewhat dangerous. So I expanded the bottom of my skeleton farm and built stairs towards the top of the island, which later the farm for planting melons was in the way, so I had to move it around. Later, I built up a top covering for the staircase to the skeleton farm, which protects from random falling mobs like that spider, as well as nearby skeletons that appear on random blocks, since you can get shot down and fall from the staircase into the void just because of one arrow.
Whoa, over there is
I then reorganized the surroundings. First, I went to place down some bookshelves for enchantment table, and realized I was short on cobblestone, so I proceeded to mine more of them, as well as a few others, including bookshelves and AFK at the skeleton grinder. That got me to 30 bars of experience, which was used to put Fortune 3 and Efficiency 4 on my diamond pickaxe. This allowed for more drops of resources from mining ores, which I immediately went to get using the newly enchanted pickaxe. With that finished, the time was well past day 15. Using redstone I obtained from that, I made an entity cramming device for the skeleton farm. I made it so that the skeletons fall onto a weighted pressure plate, which is connected to a redstone signal. And once enough skeletons hit the pressure plate, the redstone signal is activated, and they get pushed into a 2-block area with ladders on the side, which ultimately causes the entity cram limit of 24 to be bypassed. This allowed for longer AFK session without having to worry about them overcrowding the area and their items despawning. I basically, for those next few days, just stayed there at the skeleton farm for experience points, as well as occasionally go back up to enchant armor using the experience I obtained. Okay, this one is Unbreaking 3, let's try it out. Thorns 2. I was quite close to getting full protection for iron armor. The only armor that did not have protection for was helmet. I will get to the villagers very soon. Let's see, where were the villagers? I don't find them yet. I started work on getting villagers, as I hoped to get Feather Falling 4, but did not want to use the enchanting table since I felt like it was too much work. So I went down there to get some more resources. And came back and located the villager spawner not far from the island. I bridged over there and I kind of overcomplicated things while trying to bring villagers to the island. Push me down for some reason. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Let's give a few places for those villagers. But in the end, I managed to bring them back to the island and into this temporary shed I built for them.
And I spent the next few days just shuffling around villager offers until I got the one that I was satisfied with. I also gathered plenty of emeralds in addition to that as well. There, I got Silk Touch for 10 emeralds. Which I had to use an anvil to put to use, so I went down there to mine iron as well. Seeing that I needed many more emeralds than I expected, I expanded the farming area for melons. This was so far the most convenient way to trade for emeralds from the farmer villager. As I mentioned earlier, pumpkins were unobtainable unless I found a specific wandering trader that sells that. And while I was working on stuff like these, I was not aware of the fact that it was day 45 as I checked the time.
So I went to get more villagers, and while I was building a better platform for the spawner, this happened.
Where is the tracking? Where is it tracking towards? Where is this one tracking towards? Oh, it's a stonecutter.
This guy first went for the stonecutter, so I broke it, as I did not need a mason now. But later he found grindstones I put near the enchantment table, and I removed those as well. But seeing that I needed a better sword, I just kept this villager and assigned weaponsmith to him. So I went to get more resources for trades with the villagers, and also imported a few more villagers to the island, and spent pretty much the next few days shuffling the trades of the weaponsmith and a few librarians until I was satisfied. Over there. I also put in the time and effort to assign a Fletcher villager, because I thought that I had plenty of wood to make sticks. And put looting on the sword. And later I got another librarian villager. And since this villager has got cheaper silk touch, I replaced the villager that had a 10 emerald silk touch offer. I replaced the former with a very versatile enchantment, Unbreaking 3 to be exact. I got also another librarian villager to offer protection 4 for 16 emeralds. And now, seeing that I only have sharpness 3 on my sword, I felt like it is time to get this to a higher level of sharpness. For some reason, it seemed to me that sharpness is a very common enchantment for books using an enchanting table. So I took the time to gather some more lapis and got myself a whole lot more bars of experience points, and obtained many sharpness 3 books, which I combined into sharpness 4, and the sword also got to sharpness 4. And finally, I got a sword that was enchanted with a sharpness 5. And by the time I was finished with this, it was day 60. And I have destroyed the... Seeing that I was very well equipped, I felt like it was a good time to venture into the Nether. So I took the time and effort to collect enough obsidian for this mission. And not that close to the edge. And that's it. And then it's time to go to the Nether. It's 66, which is 2/3, and I am about to do that. And here we go. Oh, it really is. Okay, it really is. Okay, it really is. And it turns out, without a doubt, the Nether is also in SkyGrid form. I was instantly greeted by a few blazes, but I had trouble to spot where they came from and felt like that I was not well prepared for this. So I got myself a second shield and a fairly strong bow and went right back at it. Now it felt much easier to deal with, and I kept expanding the platform of the stone I built around the portal. Okay, let's get it to fly. I don't know if I should do anything, just parkour. Probably not the best idea to parkour here. There's soul sand, so I could take on the wither. Okay, I don't know if I should go down there. Let's seems like it will do here. Let's do it safely. Let's play safe. Okay, just as usual, safe. I do expand downwards to reach the blaze spawner that I found. I needed to get blaze rods, quite a few of them, but I was simply just shooting from far away, so those blaze rods just fell to the bottom. Let's do a bit of the lower platform. Oh, I thought I was going to fall down there. So I had to expand the platform all the way to reach the spawner, which was quite below. That made it slightly tricky to build it, as I constantly had blazes targeting me, but also there is no water pillar to hold on to, unlike the overworld, which makes it considerably harder. So far, let's build another shield to the blaze are still around here. Let's see. Okay, now it's on the same level as the spawner. Now let's try to get on the same level as the spawner. Maybe go and get probably a few walls to the sub. It took me a lot of patience, as I tried a bit too hard to not take damage while doing this, since I knew if I were to die, my items would be very likely either burned or just fall into the bottom. At the end though, I felt like I took too long to do this, so instead I had another idea and
Well, you can see what I did. Get potions for that reason. There it is. Now let's get to the... So, now that I've finished with those blaze powders, it is time to get ender pearls. So I did the thing where I took a villager and made it a brewing stand. And then leveled it up. This one, okay. Okay, now it has... And I need more emeralds. Now it was time to get to the end. There are end portal frames at the bottom to be filled in. What I did first was clear out the entire area above the end portal. This took way longer than expected, and was more dangerous than expected. I nearly fell to death after a skeleton hit me from a place I had no idea. There were lots to collect, as I mined the entire columns of blocks from top to bottom. But most of the blocks obstructing the end portal were cobblestone that formed from contact of flowing lava and water. I also had to remove plenty of flowing water that were obstructing, and this was very tricky. And when it was time to fill in the end portal, something went a little wrong. Is there a specific arrangement, or is it wrong? I don't think it is. Let's see, I think I might have to fix that. So I had to go off camera and use a third-party world editing software to fix it, as I did not know how to do it. But in the end, I somehow managed to get it to work, very successfully. The last thing I did before going to the end was to get a few more blocks, which actually I should have thought that I could do this with end stone in the end instead of just cobblestone. And by the time I was finished with the preparations, the day count was at 79. Okay, here we go. And so, the only dimension on this map that was not a SkyGrid map. I also kinda expected it to not be a SkyGrid map. I don't know why. Well, the objective of this time was clear. To kill the Ender Dragon. Okay. That way. Okay, that's...
After the Ender Dragon got killed, I located this End City gateway. When all this was completed, it was day 80. Seeing that I have such an amount of experience, I used it to enchant a shovel.
I messed up, I'll do some one. Okay, that is great. Silk touch with efficiency 4 and unbreaking speed.
After just putting back a few items back into the island, with little preparation, I went straight back to the end. To get to an end city and find the one that has an end ship.
Okay, next. So let's. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I think that works now.
There are better armor and tools and weapons in there, mostly diamond ones with very high levels of enchantment, as well as items needed to get to shulker boxes, but also elytra, which I really hope to get because it will be very helpful in such a map of SkyGrid.
Okay, efficiency 3 and unbreaking speed. Let's get that. No, put everything that's in the chest into that one. Okay, this one they got mending, which. So let's hit the pillar over there. That works very well. Okay, there are 2 shulker legs. One of them almost fell. Efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3 protection.
I am pretty glad that the first end city I went to already has a end ship.
So it's just not going to skip.
And then I took the advantage of the elytra to fly to more corners of the end city to find extra shulkers that I did not kill because I just really like shulker boxes.
No shulker. No, there's no shell. There's no shell.
And then I found the end gateway to the main island of the end and went back there. And with all that finished, the time was day 82. Elytra needs to be consistently repaired. So I decided to get a librarian villager that offer mending as an enchantment trade, and enchant that on my elytra. Elytra also needs to be powered with firework rockets, so for the next few days I built a creeper farm and also set up a sugarcane farm. So for the next few days, I found and located this creeper spawner that I found not long ago, which was quite like the skeleton spawner farm from some time ago that I currently have. Except that I did not add this max entity cramming portion, unlike the skeleton farm. and by the moment I finished it, the day count was at 90. Exactly 90. So I also considered the fact that making lots of firework rockets requires paper. I set up a sugarcane farm, which I would say that I should have made it long time ago, closer to the beginning of playing this instead of this late, because it does not require a lot of late game resources. I also went to the bottom to collect some additional sugarcane because I felt like I needed more of them right now, mostly using elytra to go around. And for the remaining days of 90 till 100, I decided to mine all the blocks below my platform, and to mine out the entire grid one block by one block. My motive for this is to see how many resources I can get from this, and expected to clear out something like hundreds of columns in this 10-day time frame. However, I underestimated just how long it took to clear out so many blocks. There were so many towers of liquids of water and lava just flowing everywhere, and clearing them out almost took forever, especially the lava with the slow flowing speed. So overall the work was very hectic, and difficult, and time-consuming, and a whole lot of fall damage, even with Feather Falling 4. At the day 97, I ended up being able to clear only a little under one chunk. So I felt like taking a break from this, where I took my elytra and flew a far distance to explore the view of the map from above. However, not far away, I ran into something that I found that surprised me. It was land. Generated terrain of Minecraft. Looks like the older versions of Minecraft were built differently from the new ones. Or maybe this map was just created in the middle of a giant void hole in the old version of the game. Or at least something going on that I don't really have any idea. I didn't really know how those maps worked back in 2012. Also, I should have and sort of expected that this map wasn't an infinite grid of blocks. Upon witnessing this, I got the feeling that I wanted to give up playing this SkyGrid, because I felt like seeing that I get access to a new terrain like this made playing on that grid map pointless, as you could just get resources from this terrain here. So now, I would like to stop right here, instead of further going to 200 days or more. Regardless of what I witnessed, it was great seeing what the Minecraft community made even 13 years ago.